welcome to Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke Martin, and this is my 2023 food guide to Japan. Undoubtedly one of the world's greatest food destinations. This year, we traveled all across the country, and I've compiled the top 30 Japanese foods you must try on your next trip to Japan. I spotted this guy who's grilling up fresh senbei, which are rice crackers, so I bought myself one. It's 80 yen. This flavor is black pepper. So let's try it out. It's just a rice cracker and then flavored. They might have dipped it in something as well. And I think this is a famous snack to try here in Sensoji, Asakusa. It's so crunchy. Strong black pepper flavor. Actually, it's almost a little spicy. And then salt too. So crunchy, I like the texture. Ooh. There's a bunch of little tents set up selling all kinds of different Japanese street foods, and we spotted a guy making yakisoba, which is fried noodles, Japanese style. He puts all kinds of veggies in there and a ton of sauce. It smelled like the okonomiyaki sauce, and this is the final result. A little bit of pickled ginger on top, and he was making a mountain of this yakisoba. It just looked too good to pass up. Tangy, almost sour sauce, the okonomiyaki sauce. I love it. And it's got a really strong flavor and a little bit smoky actually. Grilled up nicely. Yeah, that's just satisfying. Noodles, yum. So here it is, a massive beef tongue. I'm at this little restaurant called Jugoya, and they specialize in Sendai Gyutan. This is actually US beef. So a lot of the Gyutan here in Sendai is actually US beef. And just look at the size of that. So a couple steaks out of this for sure. And he's grilled them up on charcoal, and we're gonna try it out. I'm super excited. Just can't get over how big that is. Wow. So they grilled us up 4 of the Gyutan steaks. I guess you can call them. They're about the size of a steak. And look at that beautiful, beautiful grilled meat. It looks like they cook it a little thoroughly, but then over here there's some pieces that are a little bit more rare, and then served with just a simple pickled cabbage. And this, I believe, is some sake lees vegetables that have been covered with sake lees. Let me try this out. Oh man, it just smells so, so good. Wow. Whoa. I was expecting the texture to be like a firm, well done steak, because I didn't see any fat in those cuts, but it turns out that this is super, super soft and smooth. The texture is unique. It's almost like a texture of liver, but with the taste of like a beautiful sirloin steak or something. And just naturally oily. There's nothing added. He didn't put any salt on it, nothing, but it tastes amazing just as is. I can't believe there's nothing added to that. It's beautiful flavor as is. And the texture. Oh, it's so bouncy. Okay, let's try one of these pieces that's a little bit more rare, and it's just dripping with oil. I've also got some Japanese 7 spice blend chili pepper with a little bit of that, not too much. Wow, it's a lot oilier than I was expecting, but in the best way possible. And I love restaurants like this that take an ingredient that maybe otherwise might be just kind of disregarded as a lesser delicious cut of meat, and then they just perfect it. That's the Japanese way, just to perfect something that otherwise people would overlook and just turn it into an absolute delicious, delicious dish. Just look at that beauty. We have a ton of gyutan. I love the texture, the oiliness. Oh, it's smoky. That's perfect. I would eat this equally with a steak. Like, this is as good as having any Wagyu steak, any premium cut of meat. Just a little bit of that 5 or 7 spice. Yeah. So the owner here is teaching me how to shuck an oyster. So let me try it by myself. Let's grab one that's already, or not opened yet. So some of them have popped open, but some of them are still closed, like this one. So I've got a little shucking tool. So let me try to open it up myself. All right, so I'll shuck my first oyster here. Oh, very easy actually. I guess because they're steamed, they open up nice and easy. And look at that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful oyster. Oh my gosh. And he said just to eat them natural like this for the first few oysters, and then maybe if you get bored of the taste, you can add a squeeze of lemon or some Tabasco sauce. So let me go for my first oyster here in Matsushima. Oh, they're big ones. It doesn't need any extra ingredients because the flavor is already a little bit salty from the seawater, and it's just so natural, plump, super juicy. Actually, I like it steamed. I like raw oysters, but steamed, it really fills up with the juice and it kind of explodes in your mouth. And when you're done, just chuck the shells in the bucket here. All right, we got a lot of oysters to eat. I mean, unlimited, I guess, for 1 hour. There is some monster size oysters in there. I mean, look at that. Oh, I think that's actually a double one. But, you know, these aren't the biggest oysters I've seen in the world, but still extremely fresh. All you can eat. Doesn't get much better than that. Look at how plump and beautiful that is. And here in Matsushima in the winter time, this is the season for the oysters. These are farmed oysters, but in the west of Japan, you can get wild oysters. You don't need any sauce. They've got a subtle sweetness, very juicy and plump, and also a subtle saltiness from the salt water. Man, I'm gonna be able to destroy a lot of these. So I've got a local beer from this little town that we're in here. It's local craft beer, so couldn't think of anything better to go with it. Maybe sake, but a little early for the sake, I think. Yeah, and he just gave me some lemon, so it's fun to shuck these open. Some of them are easier than others, but it's kind of like part of the experience to shuck these. You don't want to crack the shell at all because then you'll get little pieces in your mouth. They're all just beautiful when you open them up. And a little squeeze of some lemon concentrate here. Just a couple drops, doesn't really need much. Yeah, it's good with the lemon. Honestly, it doesn't need anything. The flavor au naturel is even better. Yum. So the owner just threw on a second batch for us. We've got a lot of oysters to go through, and it takes about 15 minutes or so for them to steam. There's another area of Japan, Hiroshima, which is pretty famous for their oysters, but the locals here say that their oysters here in Miyagi are better. I've had both, and honestly, I think these are better. Working our way through these oysters. Look at this big, plump one, and check this out. It's a double. Oh, they're so good. And they're sticking together, so you can get a little surprise. Oh, this one's way smaller on the backside. A little parasite oyster. Man, these are amazing. All right, this is my last one. I lost count a long time ago, but this is how many. Apparently, the owner's here saying that I did a bad job. Apparently, people can eat a lot more than I did. They're so good though. You can just keep eating them, keep eating them. Not like other oysters I've had. After a couple, it's kind of too much, too rich. These ones are like, they keep going. Amazing. Oh, I'm full though.
おかげさまで。つみれは何個にしますか？10個？はい。1個？2袋。1袋、はい。
So we just came across a woman selling grilled fish cakes. She's got different kinds. This one that I've got here is shrimp with onion, and she dips it in a nice sauce. I'm guessing it's gonna be a little bit sweet. Let's try. Oh, that's awesome. There's actually pieces of onion in there, a little bit crunchy still, really soft. The sauce is sweet, but a little bit tangy too. Oh, and that's perfect because it's kind of cold this morning and that's nice and warm. Warm you up. Yum. So delicate and delicious. So this one is fish cake with ginger, pickled ginger, the red Japanese pickled ginger. Let's try. The fish cake is so delicate. It's just served on a chopstick too. And I love that ginger flavor. It's not like raw ginger where it's like spicy. It's a little bit kind of sour pickle flavor. Oh, that's actually really good. I'm not usually a huge fan of fish cake, but that's awesome. So here are our slices of lamb, and they've given us a big chunk of fat here too, so I'll grease this up. And while I do a little cooking here, I'll tell you a story about this dish, which is pretty interesting. It goes back to World War II. The Japanese fighter pilots, the Air Force, they needed warm jackets. So what they did was they imported a bunch of sheep. They started breeding a lot of sheep because they wanted fleece. And they used the fleece to stay warm. The fighter pilots use it to stay warm. But Japanese don't actually eat lamb that much, and back then they didn't eat it at all. After World War II ended, all of the fighters came home from different parts of the world, including Mongolia, and they had to learn how to cook the mutton, not lamb, sorry, mutton, this is mutton, properly without having the smell that you get with mutton, which is sometimes quite strong. That's the story of it, and now it lives on today, especially here in Sapporo, and that's cooking really, really fast. That is a super hot grill. Like I said, similar to Korean barbecue or like yakiniku. I'll cook this up, and then we'll have it with some of the sauce that she's given us. Oh, it smells good, but I didn't need to start cooking to smell it. You can smell it in here. It is absolutely filled with smoke in here. Look at that. That is looking delicious already. Yum. Oh. I see people putting them all around the exterior. Put some cabbage, some bean sprouts, some onions, and then all that oil kind of drips off and flavors all those veggies. Oh, that doesn't need too long, I wouldn't say. It said it's Australian mutton. Woo-wee. All right, let's dig in. All right, I think this all looks just about done. Take it off the grill. It smells so good. And then
Grab my chopsticks here. And they've given us a sauce back here, which I'm not totally sure what kind of sauce it is. Genghis Khan sauce, I guess. Let's go for a dip. Oh yeah, full submerge. Yum. Oh man. Tender. Very tender. You definitely do get a hint of the mutton, but that's what it's all about. Super, super smoky. Everything in here is smoky. That sauce has a very strong garlic flavor. It's quite a thick sauce. Just going for one more bite. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Just thin cuts. You can really go generous with this sauce. It's delicious. Piece of onion. Oh man. So this is our Kaisen Don, or seafood donburi. We ordered 3 different things: the salmon roe ikura, and then the uni sea urchin, and then the beautiful salmon sashimi back here, all on a bed of rice. And this was 3,000, so a little bit pricey to be honest. Big piece of wasabi there as well. Miso soup, which is looking beautiful with a nice scallop inside. I'm just gonna go in with my spoon here and let's try some of the ikura salmon eggs first. Those are so nice. They just pop in your mouth, full of juice, a little bit salty. Let's try the uni next. So uni is one of those things you either love it or you hate it. Luckily, I love it. Very creamy, completely disintegrates in your mouth. It's got like a faint irony flavor, if that makes any sense, kind of like a little bit metallic. It's really unique. Umami completely covers your mouth in flavor. A little bit of soy sauce. Go for a dip with this salmon. Oh, damn. That salmon's so good. Super rich and fatty. Oily. Again, melts in your mouth. You might think it's strange to eat so much raw food for breakfast, but it's so light. It's not grilled, it's not fried, nothing, no cooked, so it's got a really lightness to it. It fills you up, but it doesn't make you feel heavy for the day. Everything is really good, but I gotta give it up for the uni. The highlight is gotta be the uni. Super fresh Hokkaido uni is known for being some of the top quality. You can see a little bit of uni there, some ikura salmon eggs, a little bit of wasabi. Oh. Wow, that's good. Oh, that's A5 Wagyu, baby. We've got Sendai steak. So Sendai is, I believe it's the capital of Miyagi, with some mustard cream sauce and some spinach back here that they grow locally. I mean, not even locally, right on the property here. So let's cut this open. I'm sure it's gonna be cooked to perfection. Oh my God, the knife just goes through that perfectly. Look at that, yes. Let's try a little bit of this cream mustard sauce. Just disintegrated. That is so good. Oh my God. I love Japan. Of course, Japanese Wagyu is world renowned. Having A5 like this is the highest grade of Wagyu. If you like steak at all, this is just the pinnacle. God damn, it's good. That was the best beef of my life. I want to lick this. I did lick this. I want more. We just spotted a man making fresh red bean cakes. It's kind of like taiyaki, but taiyaki's always shaped like a fish. This one, he's got all different kinds of shapes. He's got his own custom mold, and all the shapes are Sensoji temple related designs, but basically just puts down a little bit of batter, some red bean inside, and then batter on top, and then closes it up, and then grills it. So I've got a bag here of 6. So like I said, they're all different designs. Let's see what I get here. I'm not really sure what that one is, but here, let me find another one, show you a couple of the designs. Oh, there's a bird here. Maybe that's like the pigeon that's right here. Like I said, Sensoji temple designs. There's the pagoda. This one's my favorite. I don't know what this is really, like the guard, I think, of the temple. Let's try it out. Oh, smoking hot. Creamy red bean on the inside. It's just a thin batter on the outside with quite a lot of red bean. Ooh. It's sweet. And it's got a little crunch on the outside. Very good. Here is the grilled scallop, and just look at the size of that. That is the biggest scallop I think I've ever seen in my life. And look at this too. He just brought over some soy sauce that has dashi that's using local Miyagi oysters, or sorry, Matsushima oysters. So I'll go for a little drizzle of this local soy sauce, not too much. And oh man, this is gonna be messy, I think. That is way too big for a one bite. That is so meaty. Look at how thick that is. Wow. Also very sweet, naturally. Just flakes apart in your mouth. And that soy sauce. Very subtle flavor. I didn't put a lot. But jeez, I just can't get over the thickness, the girthiness of that scallop. Look at that. That is like 1.5 inches thick. Very good. So I've got a bunch of different little things in my bento box here, and I love the presentation, so beautiful. So there's 3 different types of rice. This one is like a bean rice, this one with some shrimp, and then it looks like shiitake mushroom. Up here I've got, I think, some fish cakes and a carrot. This is a nice looking piece of mackerel with some yuzu, a grilled fish cake, and then some pickles over here, and a little noodles, I think. This is like steamed rice with a bunch of veggies and stuff. Let's try this one with the shrimp. I feel like I can taste a little bit of vinegar on the rice. It's almost like a sushi rice. Okay, let's try, I think this is a grilled fish cake with some sauce on it, some sesames. Let's try that. Oh, I think it's chicken actually. It's like a mini sukune, which is like a chicken ball, yakitori style. Oh, I really have a couple pieces of yuzu on top of this mackerel here. Even the bento boxes here in Japan are super high quality. But I'm gonna shut up now because I'm being way too loud, and we'll pick back up with you when we reach our destination. We are at the Shiogama Wholesale Fisheries Market now, and we spotted a man who is breaking down the tuna into the different cuts. There's 3 main cuts. There's the akami, which is the lean, the dark red meat. There's chutoro, medium fatty, and then otoro, which is the fattiest. There's other cuts of the meat, of course, and they've just actually offered us a sample, so finally time to try some of the famous Shiogama bluefin tuna. So let's try. So you can see this is the akami here, the lean meat, and that's the chutoro. Let's try the lean akami first. Even though that's the non-fatty cut, it's still just melts in your mouth. So a little bit of soy sauce on there. Oh man, these are just like the scraps that are left over after he finished cutting it up to pieces. Oh my gosh. Yeah, That is so good. Shiogama is the largest producer of amount of tuna here in Japan. So extremely high quality, all fresh, never frozen. Oh man. That is awesome. Oishi. So Miso Ramen is a Sapporo original. It makes up one of the main categories of ramen along with shoyu, so soy sauce ramen, and shio, salt ramen. Miso Ramen is loved all across Japan, but here in Sapporo it's very famous. So I've ordered up the special Miso Ramen at this shop, and it comes with a couple unique ingredients that are particular to Hokkaido, and that is this right here, a big slab of butter. So Hokkaido is famous for their dairy products, but it's also famous for its corn. So there's some corn in here, and then this comes with all kinds of stuff. It's got slices of pork, there's some shredded leek here, some soft-boiled eggs, menma, which is the bamboo shoots, and a piece of seaweed back here. Yum. So you'll notice right away that it's quite oily, but that's how they like to do it here, because traditionally a lot of these ramen shops used to be outside here in Hokkaido, and it gets very cold here in the winter time, so a big layer of oil on top of the broth helps to seal in all of that heat so it stays warm. We're actually in a shopping mall right now, so it doesn't really matter, but luckily still got the traditional flavor. Try out some of the noodles. You can see they've got these kind of crinkle cut noodles which really help to stick that broth to them. Let's see how my ramen slurp is. Yeah. Nice and bouncy, springy. Oh man, that miso broth has such a nice, comforting flavor, really rich and thick. I'm gonna kind of mix this butter in there, let it melt, and let me try some of this corn, which is a really famous ingredient here in Hokkaido. Nice sweet corn, a little bit of a crunch. Yum. I also just noticed there's a little bit of ginger here. Ginger, give that another mix. And this isn't quite chashu, it's kind of like thin strips of pork. Let me go for that. Dunk it in that buttery miso broth. That's a solid bowl of noodles. One of my all-time favorite ingredients, the menma, the bamboo shoots. Try that, always got a nice crunch to it. Pickled, but it's still got a nice solid crunch to it, but it's all about this miso broth. All that oil floating to the top, but that miso gives it such a richness. Yeah. Alright, it's really good. This would be amazing on a cold winter day. A key component to any good bowl of ramen is a very softly boiled egg. You can just cut through it with the chopsticks for a quarter. That yolk should just melt away in your mouth. This one's pretty good. Yum. So the corn and the butter addition is very Hokkaido specialty, but it's definitely not traditional. Actually, a traditional bowl of miso ramen will have no chashu, no sliced pork. It'll have actually ground pork and a lot of bean sprouts in it. This one's special version with a couple ingredients that are famous to Hokkaido, the butter and the corn. So this next shop has some different types of seafood, some of them grilled, some tempura, and this is something I've actually never tried before. It's called Hamo. So this is a sea eel. There are different types of eels to try here in Japan. There's unagi, there's anago, and then this is Hamo. I've tried the other two, but I've never tried this one before. So tempura, fried, and salted. You can see a little piece of fish on the inside, and apparently these are pretty bony, so it takes quite a technique to make sure there's no bones in it. Let's try. Really crunchy, crispy, and then nice, fresh, soft fish on the inside. Salty too. You don't really need a sauce for this. You just have it like this with a little bit of salt on top. Actually, really good. You can see, it's got a pretty thick batter on it, but it's also a fair piece of fish on the inside, or eel. So he's chopping up the Hamo here, and you can see that he's already removed all the bones, but you can see there's like millions of little cuts that he had to make in each one to remove all of the bones to get that beautiful, delicate fish. And this is the final result. And then over here, she's frying them up. So here is our sashimi scallop, fresh raw scallop, served with a lemon right in the shell. So I'll go for a squeeze of lemon on top of that. I don't know if I've ever actually had scallop sashimi before, so let's try. Very fresh. Nice and sweet, actually, and it kind of has two textures. The middle part, very tender fall part, and then there's like a lining that is a little bit of a crunch to it. It's very naturally sweet. Nice with the lemon. Alright, bought ourselves a piece of melon here, famous Hokkaido melon. So there's a town nearby here in Hokkaido that's called Yubari, and Yubari is famous for its melon, but it's not the season for Yubari melon yet. So actually what they do is they take the Yubari melon seeds and they take it to Okinawa, the far south of Japan, for the winter season, so that they can grow the melons year-round and sell them. You can see the sign up there, says on May 26th, so we're just a couple weeks early before the Yubari melon season starts. But look at that. Juicy, juicy melon. And I'll be totally honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of melon, but let's try this out. Whoa. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of melon, but I might be a huge fan of Hokkaido melon. That is so juicy. I bit into it, just it completely exploded with flavor. Very sweet, but very soft. Not like crunchy like the melons I've had before. Very, very soft. Look at it, it's just dripping with juice. That is absolutely delicious. Wow. Damn, that is definitely the best melon I've ever had.
Oh wow, this is so good. The one I try in Thailand, it's like when you bite it, it's not melting and it's hard to chew. This one is melt in your mouth and sweet. It tastes like melon milk already. It tastes like dessert. It doesn't taste like fruit at all. I love it.
Save me a little bit.
No, sorry. God, it's so juicy. It's really juicy, right?
Yeah.
Let's get another one.
As you may know, in Japan, fruit can sometimes go to astronomical prices. This place seems pretty reasonably priced. Actually, I don't know, $45 for a melon, that's not very reasonable, but $4 for a slice? I don't know what I'm really saying. It's still quite expensive, but I mean, at least we're not paying $25,000 for a melon, which we saw for sale in Tokyo. Bye. So like I said, I think this is just a temporary market. It's really not very common to find street food like this in Tokyo. So we got really lucky today and we just went to this little tent here where he's selling grilled beef, open flame right on the streets of Tokyo. That's pretty cool. So I ordered up a nice stick with the original sauce and that is just steaming hot. Let's try that out. Whoa. It's really fatty. Kind of chewy actually. The sauce tastes like there's maybe like some sake or something in there. It tastes alcoholic. Oh, it's chewy beef.
and 700 yen for one stick. A little expensive. It's buttery and fatty, but chewy. All right, first piece of the meal. This is sea bass. I'm just going in with the fingers. A little hit of wasabi in there. The rice get a little bit of a sourness and just so fresh. Sea bass. And then they've just given us a green tea. Sencha? Sencha, okay. And I love the cup that it comes in. Such a cool cup with all the different types of sushi on it. Round two. This is called kohada in Japanese. It's a gizzard shad, like a silverfish. It's a stronger flavor. The rice, you can notice it's a little bit red. He's using red vinegar, so it gives the rice a really nice flavor. And that gizzard shad's super fresh. He said this is the perfect season for gizzard shad. I just love sitting at the bar and just watching the chef do his thing. Super fast, meticulous, intricate. This is so cool to watch. Next up, this is called an arc shell. I've never had this one before. It looks like a little bit of sesame on top. It's a shell fish. Sesame flavor. A little bit of a crunch. Apparently Tokyo style tamago is sweeter. This is Osaka style, so it's made with the dashi. A little bit saltier. You can eat it at any time during the meal. Oh, juicy. Squid, and this time it's got some flavored sesame on top. Different color. It's spinach, pumpkin, carrot flavored sesame. Tastes like a little citrusy. Maybe there's some yuzu or something in there. The otoro or fatty tuna just came out. It honestly looks like beef. It's so marble, it just melts. I can feel it just melting in my fingers already. Like everything else, when you say it melts in your mouth, is not as comparable to otoro. It really, you can just sit it on your tongue and it'll just turn into a liquid. White shrimp next up. Usually not a huge fan of the raw shrimp. Let's try. Oh. So it's minced shrimp, cut into tiny little pieces, so it's not chewy. Flavor's unique. Losing track, but I think maybe number 6, number 7. This is usually my favorite, one of my favorites after the otoro. This is mackerel. This kind is like a horse mackerel, but it's not quite. And then on top, it's yuzu pepper. The yuzu has a nice citrusy, but also at the same time the pepper kind of has a little bit of a spice to it. Oh, and that's a fatty fish too, that melts. Oh, that's good. So another cut of tuna, this time it's akami, so it's the lean part of the tuna. Deep red color, and this is really interesting. He put Japanese mustard on top. Look at the color of that. Wow, tuna with mustard. It was good. Oh, and even though that's the lean cut, it's still so soft.
So good.
Besides the tuna being in season and lots of other fish, another thing that's in season right now is uni, and Hokkaido in the northern part of Japan is famous for its uni. We've got some Hokkaido uni with a little bit of wasabi on top. That is sea urchin. Very umami. Wow. Yum. That is really fresh. And that stuff is super expensive too. We just saw it in the market, and a box goes for, I don't know, $300.
Alright.
So we were offering them to our team, and it was like a great chance for me to go.
Woman just appeared behind me, slid the door open, and came with miso soup, so very welcome. Really nice seafood flavor, and leeks in there.
I'm much more used to it. I'll be honest, like the last thing we
So obviously most sushi is raw, but he also does sear a lot of different pieces with his little blowtorch. And the next one up is, I believe, sea eel, Anago. Okay, this one you gotta eat quick. Don't let it sit too long. Just melts again. So last piece is this little hand roll here. He lays down some rice and wasabi on top of a piece of nori, seaweed, and then with ikura, which is the salmon roe, and different types of fish that are kind of like a mixture of minced up fish. And he made it up specially for me like this. Let's try it out. Those salmon eggs just explode, a little crunchy on the outside. Wow, what a meal. So this little guy right here is something you're going to see at the Nishiki market, because this is one of the most famous things to try here. This is called Tako Tamago, which means octopus egg. So inside of the head of this little guy here, there is a boiled egg. I guess maybe it's a quail's egg, because this one's pretty small. And years ago, I came to Kyoto and I remember trying this, and I was not a fan whatsoever. So let's try it out. Let's see if my taste has changed. Yeah. It's really juicy. Look how much juice is coming out of that. Yeah, it's got a boiled egg on top. It's really like strong seafood flavor with a little bit of almost like it tastes like a sweet sauce on the outside. And this bright red octopus, just such a strong seafood flavor. It's really overpowering. Yeah, still not a huge fan, but definitely can handle it better than the first time I tried it. Let's try one of these little tentacles. Chewy, fishy, not my favorite, but you've got to try it. I don't think I've ever seen this anywhere else in Japan, only here at the Nishiki market. And Ming's gonna try it for the first time now.
Just want to say, Mrs. Sloop forced me to try this one, so I have to try. Oops. To be honest, I'm kind of scared, but actually the taste is not as scary as I thought it's gonna be. It's a little sweet, but because it's kind of like it's sweet and it's cold. But I don't know, this is like a symbolic food of Kyoto that you have to try, and you have to come here and try, and you know.
You ate the egg out of the head. Look at the top now. Look at it.
It's hard to
empty now.
I can't bite it. Anyways, it's not as scary as I thought. Like, Luke scared me.
It is a little bit weird that it's served cold though. I think
cold.
the cold thing is the weird part.
Yeah.
500. So it's strawberry season also now in Japan. We saw lots of people eating different things with strawberries, and one of the things you can buy here at the Sensoji area is these candied strawberries. So 3 strawberries for 500 yen. Seems like maybe a deal compared to those $1,000 melons that we saw earlier today.
Over 1 million yen.
1 million yen?
1 million yen. Oh,
For one
1.5 million yen for 1 melon.
Yeah, that's a juicy strawberry. Really strong strawberry flavor. And then candied sugar on the outside crunches. That's actually really, really good. That's a juicy strawberry on the inside. Oops.
Drop the strawberry bag. Not the strawberry.
You wanna try?
Yeah. My turn. Oh.
Oh. Who gets the last one?
You.
Okay. Strawberry's like a little bit sour. Mr. Hirade is going to help me out.
Yes.
So these are caught in Hokkaido?
Oh yes.
Yes, they are. And is this the season?
No season.
Season now?
Season. Oh, yes.
Wow. Look at that. Hairy crab, because you can see the kind of hairs on the outside. These are very, very delicious. Famous for Hokkaido, yes?
Yes, very famous.
And you can eat the insides too.
Yes, inside the miso.
The miso, so they call it kani miso, right?
Yes, that's right.
So crab miso, it's kind of like the tamale. It's not really miso, but that's one thing about this type of crab, the hairy crab, is that you can eat the miso inside, but then also lots of meat. Very cool. Very hairy.
Yes, very hairy. Please be careful. This many needles.
Oh, these are needles. Okay,
Yes.
so they'll stick into your to your skin. Okay. Famous Hokkaido hairy crab. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, please.
I'll put it right here.
Yes.
So they have other types of crabs as well. Let's go see what else they've got. They've got tanks everywhere full of seafood, not just crabs, but like I said, it's the specialty here in Hokkaido. And they've also got a tank of, I think they've got king crab and snow crab too. Oh.
Please be careful.
Okay.
This is snow crab.
Snow crab. Oh, so is this also from Hokkaido?
Yes, Hokkaido, Monbetsu.
Oh.
From Monbetsu.
And you can see the legs on this guy. It's just huge. Oh, and he's coming at me with the
Yeah.
claws. Can you eat is there miso?
Miso, okay.
You can eat
Yes,
the miso with this
also
one too.
okay.
Look, he's got a hold of me here. Going for a little pinch. He's friendly, just saying hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. And last
Okay.
is a king crab.
Also from Hokkaido?
Yes.
Yes, all from Hokkaido here.
Okay. Please be careful.
Okay, I gotta be
This-
very careful here.
This claw is a very strong.
Very strong. Okay.
Yes, strong.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, how many kgs is
Maybe
this?
4 kg.
4 kg. Wow, that thing is massive. King crab. Look at that. Look at the claws here. Gotta be careful. He's got a grip on me. Not as friendly as the last guy. King crab. That is absolutely massive. Way too big for breakfast today, so we're going for the hairy crab today. How much does this cost?
Maybe 60,000 yen over.
60,000 yen or over.
Right,
So
yeah.
about $600, $500 over. Whew. Yep. That's the king of the sea for sure. So these guys actually have quite a soft shell, you can feel.
40,000 yen.
40,000 yen,
Yes.
about 300 grams or how
Yes.
many? Yeah, about 300 grams. Okay, but do they get bigger than this, or is this the full size?
Yeah. This
This is
a
full
little
size?
bit big size.
A little bit big? Oh, okay.
Maybe 30, 50.
So much smaller than the king crab, but just as delicious, if not more. So let's order one up.
It's good.
This is the lucky one?
Yeah.
Okay. Or the unlucky one?
Oh, 480.
Okay.
So you said for 30 minutes?
Yes, 30 minutes.
30 minutes boil. Okay. Thank you. Wow. So a little candlelight under the grilled scallop, and we've got our beautiful, beautiful hairy crab. Just check that out right there. So you can see that kani miso, as they call it, miso, just because it looks like miso, but like I said, it's just the tamale, it's all those head juices, whatever you want to call it, and he beautifully sliced all of this up to make it easier to get at the meat. This is about 480 grams, and then that king crab was like 4 kgs or more, so that's literally 10 times bigger than this crab right here, if you can believe it. This looks like plenty for breakfast. And then the awesome looking grilled scallops. You can see there's 2 different cuts. The scallop meat, I'm not really totally sure what to call that other part, but there's basically 2 different parts of the scallop starting to boil away there with a little bit of probably dashi. All right, let me try to get at this hairy crab meat. And that kind of hair on the outside is actually sort of like spiky. It almost hurts a little bit in the fingers, so you gotta be careful. Oh, it's kind of flaking away. But let me try to get a little dip in that miso, kani miso. Let's try that. Oh my god. That is amazing. Wow. It's so delicate, soft, and very sweet. Wow. I can't believe how naturally sweet that is. Very, very flaky. It's a little bit difficult to get out of there because you can see it's so stringy and flaky, but this tool they've given me helps a lot. Oh, there we go. Let's go for another dip. Oh yeah. And then that tamale miso. It's got a slight bitterness, but nothing too strong. Oh my. It just flakes away in your mouth. It's so naturally sweet. That's probably the sweetest crab I've ever tried. So you've got this part here, which has lots of meat, but then there's also this little part that has more meat. And see how sharp those are? You gotta be careful with your fingers. I just pricked myself. Let's try to get that out if I can. Yeah, that's what crab is all about. It's never easy. Good things don't come easy. Look at how much meat is on this kind of body part, oh yeah, of the crab. It's so delicate, I can't even use this. It's all gonna flake apart. I gotta use my chopsticks. Very, very soft. And then you gotta dip it in this kani miso. Oh yeah. Actually, it's a great breakfast. It's very light, very subtle sweetness, nothing too strong, delicious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're gonna be sitting here for a while, picking every last piece of hairy crab out of this guy. Oh man, that is awesome. This is what you gotta try when you come to Hokkaido. So we ordered the set. It comes with a crab miso soup, and this is the Hanasaki crab. So I guess they had some pieces of Hanasaki crab. You can see it's kind of got that spiky exterior. Let's just try a little sip of that. Oh, so comforting. Yeah. I'm gonna put some of the crab meat on my rice here, and it's surprising how much meat comes from the body of these guys, because usually other crabs that I've had, you get all the meat from the legs, the claws, but this has a lot of meat in the body part right here. Okay, that's good for now. There's a lot more still left in there. Oops. And then there's a couple condiments that they've given us as well. This is really interesting. It's actually seaweed with jellyfish. So it's like mixed up jellyfish with seaweed, and he said it's really good with the rice. So I'll put that with a little bit of my crab and try that with some rice. It's got like a caramel sweetness to it, that jellyfish seaweed mixture, a little bit of a ocean seafood flavor, and it goes really well with the rice. Very creamy. Because this crab meat is so delicate and soft, I figured that the most reasonable way to get all of it without wasting any is to just kind of shred it onto my rice like this, and then you can just eat it with the rice. Some of that jellyfish seaweed mixture. Oh yeah, look at that nice piece there. Oh yeah. And if you do get a good piece like that and it hasn't fallen apart, then you can go for a dip in the miso. Oh, see how very, very soft and delicate that is. Kitano Gourmet. Gotta try it out when you're in Hokkaido, in Sapporo. Really not easy to eat because it's so stringy and so delicate that you pretty much have to shred it like this if you want to get at the meat. And there's lots of shell, so yeah, mix it up with the miso, I guess, like this. Yeah. Yum. What were you saying? It's difficult, but
Satisfying. I can do this all day.
very satisfying.
Yeah.
To pick out all the meat.
Yeah.
This is as good as I've got.
Look at what I got.
You're a pro.
Yeah, there's meat in there. That look left. It's precious one. To get it all. Alright, I'm gonna mix the meat with the miso. That looks really good. Oh my god, you can't miss this when you come to Sapporo, Hokkaido. So good.
Last leg, there was a lot of meat in there, 400 grams with the shell, but because the shell is so thin, I feel like it's mostly just all meat. There is so much. Just shred it onto my rice like that. We've already finished off the miso. I'm just sit here all day, shaving that crab onto the rice. For our first stop on the Nishiki Market tour, we stopped at this tofu shop, so specializing in all things tofu, but what really caught my eye was this automatic donut dispensing machine they have out front. So it's kind of just like plopping the donuts into the oil and then moving them along like conveyor belt style. But these aren't your typical donuts. These are soy milk donuts. So soy milk is what's used to make tofu. This is a tofu shop, and we've got a bag of the soy milk donuts here. These guys are super fluffy, tiny little things, not covered in sugar, just plain. Let's give this a try. Still hot and fresh. Oh man, they're so fluffy. They're like a biting into a pillow. Not a strong flavor. I can't say it tastes like tofu. A little bit sweet. It's all about the texture though, it's just fluffy. Yum. A beautiful pastry crust on the outside filled with gorgeous cheese filling. I may or may not have already eaten 3 of these off camera, but that's a secret. So let's try it one more. Let's try the first one. These are so good, guys. This, for me, is the pinnacle of dessert. This is exactly what I want for dessert every single time. It's got that kind of tangy cheese going on, and then it's got a nice, crunchy, crispy, almost caramelized tasting crust around the outside. You can see it's filled completely to the bottom with that cheese tart filling. Famous Hokkaido dairy. These are so addictive. Oh my god, that is good. And the most dangerous thing about these is that my hotel is right beside the shop. I'm gonna be here every day. So we just stopped at another shop that's selling all kinds of different things. They're making some fresh tempura, so battered and fried, different things, but they also had this really interesting looking, it looks like crab leg, but it's not totally a crab leg. This is it right here. You can see it's way too big to be an actual crab leg. This was 400 yen. It's actually a mix of crab and fish cake, so it's like imitation crab. Let me try to pull it apart. Oh, it's super, super stringy. I'm just gonna grab it with my fingers here. And this one has been grilled over top of a gas grill, and go for a little dip. Oh, it's just like falling apart. A little dip in the soy sauce here. It's imitation crab. It's pretty good. Not my favorite. A little bit smoky. And the texture is like fish cake. And the seaweed is locally sourced seaweed in the miso soup. So cool. I love that culture here in Japan. Very good. So this is their only dish on the menu, their Yodofu. It's a tofu hot pot, so traditional Buddhist monk food. There's a lot of monks here in Kyoto. Tofu looks like some veggies in there. I see like one little shiitake mushroom in there. Let me grab a piece of tofu here. And then we've also got this sauce back here. I'm just gonna dump the whole thing in the sauce here and try that. So delicate, silky, silky smooth. Sauce is just very light shoyu sauce with some sesame seeds, but all the flavors coming from that sauce. This is a very light, not very flavorful dish whatsoever. I'm so bad at sitting on the floor. My legs are killing me right now. But gotta do it because it's part of the atmosphere, part of the experience. Also have a little pickled daikon here. Pickles in Kyoto are very, very famous. A little bit sweet actually. Quite salty. This is just such a peaceful restaurant. Listening to the water running, looking out at the beautiful leaves. Uncomfortably sitting on the tatami floor, but still worth it.
So coming from a Nishi market to here, it's like a different world. This is so peaceful. And one rule here, you have to be good at using chopstick. I cut it in half. Let's see if I'm good enough. Oh yeah, right in my mouth.
There's really a ton of tofu in here. Just a little bit of veggies as well. Very healthy food. It's simple but delicious. And yeah, like Mick was saying, you gotta be really good at using chopsticks to deal with this silky smooth tofu. And I think I'm gonna have to get my leg amputated after this. Completely cut off the circulation. Here is the beautiful Anago grilled saltwater eel with some soy sauce on top, I'm guessing. Let me try to pull a piece off. Oh wow. He warned me that there is some small bones. And apparently you can catch this all year round, but the best season for the oiliest Anago is summer. Very soft. Oh, I don't even know if there was any bones in that bite. It's extremely soft, tender meat. A little bit of a sweet soy sauce. You can taste the smoky grill. That is really, really good. So we just came right next door to the tofu shop. We just had donuts, and now I'm having ice cream, so definitely not the healthiest breakfast you can have here in Kyoto, that's for sure. But I couldn't pass up on trying this because this isn't your typical soft serve ice cream. As you can see, it's got this red tinge, and that's because this is Shichimi Ice Cream. So Japanese 7 spice. It's like a chili spice that you can put on pretty much anything here. Never seen it in ice cream though, so this will be my first time trying. It's actually not as strong as I thought. It tastes pretty much just like a regular vanilla ice cream. Oh, actually, once you swallow it, you can start to feel a little bit of the spice in the back of your throat. It's not spicy, but It's a Japanese 7 spice, so it's like a complex flavor. Yeah, actually, the longer it sits on your tongue, the more you can taste the sashimi. Actually, really good. Spicy ice cream. It's definitely the first time I've ever tried it. It's actually really good. This is it right here. Sashimi ice cream, awesome. So this restaurant is called Soup Curry Garaku. You might be familiar with Japanese curry, which is a thick curry similar to like an Indian curry. But soup curry, totally different. It was invented here in Sapporo in the 1970s, and we've just ordered up our bowl of soup curry here at Garaku. So you can see it's a much thinner curry, not like a thick Indian curry. This is totally different. There's all kinds of vegetables in here, like packed full of vegetables. There's mushrooms, there's carrots, there's broccoli and cauliflower, there is a lotus root, and then we ordered it with the sliced pork belly. And just go for a dunk in my curry and tried it like that. First time trying soup curry here in Sapporo. It was a very thin broth, like the name suggests. It's soupy, it's not thick like a regular curry, but it's got the flavor of a curry, very strong curry flavor. Okay, let me go in for some of these goodies here. There's all kinds of things. I can't believe how much they've jam-packed in here. There must be like 10 or 15 different veggies in here. Let's try a piece of carrot with a mushroom, and then maybe a piece of pork here as well. Let's try that. Really nice flavor. You know, I think I do prefer regular Japanese curry because I really like the thick, creamy curry sauce. But this is also nice. Something different. Ooh, yeah, that is really good. And you can pick your level of spiciness. We picked hot, but I wouldn't say it's too hot. This looks like, I don't even know, it looks like an artichoke, I think. And their rice is almost like a little bit spiced, I think. Yum. Let's try this lotus root. Such an amazing vegetable. Still crisp. This bowl is just full of surprises. There's so many ingredients in here. I just found a potato, and it looks like a quail's egg as well. Like I said, I think I do prefer like a classic Japanese curry, because when I go for curry, I want that really thick, rich curry broth or sauce. This is good though. It's much lighter, but very hearty with all of the ingredients inside. It's like a soft boiled quail's egg. So let the show begin. The first dish has arrived. Well, actually starting off with the sake. So she just came and brought us a beautiful looking sake, and we have our first dish. This is actually a crab dish. So it's crab that's been wrapped in turnip, and then there's some crab meat here that is mixed with like the crab miso, or like the head juices, and this just looks absolutely beautiful. Even the presentation of the dish is so beautiful. He was just telling us a story downstairs that sometimes the newbies working here will maybe break one of these plates, and some of these plates go for like hundreds, thousands of dollars. Let's try our first bite. Oh my gosh, yum. I'm not sure if it's yuzu, but it's got a jelly on the top that has like a little bit of a citrusy flavor, and then like a crunchy turnip, and then creamy crab meat on the inside. Oh my gosh, we're off to a good start, and served nice and chilled. Taste with a little bit of sake. So this is the crab meat mixed with some of the tamale, the head juices. Really delicate, super fresh, yum. Dish number 2, beautiful presentation. This is a flatfish, and then it's served on top of, this is called shirako. You can see right here, it's actually cod sperm sacs. Definitely doesn't sound appetizing, but it's very popular here in Japan. And then it's got the ponzu sauce, and then served with some wasabi. Let's try. It's very good. It's actually very light in flavor, not a very strong flavor. We'll hit a wasabi ponzu. The sperm sac explodes in your mouth, to put it bluntly.
Alright, my first time trying the sperm sac. Oh, let's try it already.
How do you describe that? Creamy?
I mean, if you don't know what it is, it's just like you eating jelly with all of a sudden like birds in your mouth. It's good experience.
Definitely the first time I've ever eaten the sperm sacs on camera. Probably the last too. And that wasabi, like the real wasabi here, just hits differently. Like so much better than the horseradish or whatever you're getting in Canada. It just goes straight up your nose though. You gotta go really gentle with it. Dish number 3 and beautiful lacquer bowl. This is part of the experience, just seeing all these incredible presentations. And this one is a crab soup. So it's like actually like a crab dumpling, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is an entire crab shell there. Let me just try the soup first with some yuzu on top as well. It's like a really thick, kind of gelatinous soup. You can taste the crab. A little bit salty, a little bit sweet. Let's try some of the crab meat or that dumpling inside. So I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here, but it seems as though, yes, okay, so this is a crab shell, and then the inside is like, they called it a dumpling, but it's like steamed, I'm guessing. Oh yeah, look at all that crab meat. Lots of crab so far in this meal. No complaints at all. That's even better than the first crab dish. Super, super fresh crab, stringy, just melts in your mouth. I'm not totally sure what's in that soup, but it's really like complex, rich broth. Yum. There's a lot of meat in there. I'm just gonna keep picking away at this. This is awesome. Getting deeper into the crab dumpling here, and you can see that bright orange crab roe, those eggs. Oh, this one's really good. There's a ton of meat in there. It's really packed full. Yeah, so delicate. Yum. Crab here in Japan is just something you have to try. Like everybody talks about the Wagyu beef or the otoro, tuna, but the crab here is some of the best crab every time I come here. Yum. Okay, next up, beautiful box once again. Oh, and I think like part of the reason they serve it in a box like that is because as soon as you open it, you get all of the aroma. This is a fried dish, so this is taro that has a mullet roe, and then it's on top of a little bit of some sort of a gelatin as well. And oh man, I'm just destroying it. I hate doing this because it looks so beautiful. You don't even want to touch it, but you have to if you want to eat it. And then I can see some yuzu on top of it as well. Let's try. Creamy taro, and then mullet roe, so dried mullet eggs on the inside. Very salty, but the taro is just so creamy, and then whatever that batter is that is fried in is amazing. You get a little bit of yuzu, and then I think that's like a yuzu gelatin or something on the bottom there as well. This is very unique. I've never had anything like it. That taro just completely melts in your mouth. Yum. Okay, next up we've got a dish served in this earthenware pot. It's kind of bubbling away here, and this is gonna be my first time ever trying this dish. Actually, quite a few things so far in this meal. The cod sperm sac and the mullet roe, I actually had never tried that either. And then this one right here, if you look inside, we have a somewhat controversial menu item. This is shark's fin. So very popular in not only in Japan but also in China. It's full of collagen, full of fat, and it's just falling apart my chopstick, so I gotta go in with my spoon. There's also some tofu in there as well, and like it or not, this is definitely something Japanese people like to eat. Let's try. Wow, the texture is not what I was expecting at all. It's almost like the texture of the crab, like it's stringy. It kind of falls apart in your mouth. It's got layers and layers and layers, but it's also very like glutinous and fatty. And then this broth that it's in is a really thick and creamy broth. It's
It's actually very good. Like the texture is incredible. It's somewhere between like a mushroom and like crab meat, I'd say. Somewhere between there.
So I'm gonna try the tofu here. Doesn't taste like a normal tofu. I can taste a little bit of like sesame, I'm not sure, but it's delicious.
I'm not sure you can tell on the camera, but it is like super stringy. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like the crab meat, like it kind of just falls apart piece by piece, or almost like if you've ever had stingray, it's kind of like stingray. So my first time trying it. I mean, it's a very premium ingredient. You're only gonna get it at a restaurant that's high end like this one. I think it's more of a texture thing than a flavor thing. The flavor is dominated by that broth, which is like a dashi with some chicken stock, some ginger. That tofu is really different than normal tofu too. It has sesame in it. You can taste sesame, and it's not like, it doesn't kind of melt like a tofu, but it's more like got a texture of almost like mochi, like it's kind of gummy, chewy in your mouth. It's different. Good though. Yeah, you can taste sesame. It's like mochi. It tastes like sesame mochi almost. Like a tangyuan with mochi, or with sesame side. So we're nearing the end of our meal. We've got a couple of other things that just came out. This here is our rice dish, and it's got a piece of anago, so eel, and then there's some really interesting ingredient in there. It's called a lily bulb, so like the lily flower, I guess, and then the bulbs right there. And then we've got a miso soup in this here. It's a red miso. I love this lacquerware. And then we've got some, this is like a kelp that's been cooked in soy sauce, and then pickled squash back there. But let me just try a piece of this anago with some of the rice. Getting quite full though. They serve the rice at the end of the meal to kind of top you up and get you full. I'm gonna chase it with one of these lily bulbs. So many ingredients I've never had before in this meal. Even after 8 years of doing this, there's still things I've never even tasted before, didn't even know you could eat. Yum. It's actually a little bit sweet. It's got the texture of like a boiled potato, and that's a beautifully cooked anago eel on top of the rice. Yeah, this is gonna fill me up for sure. What a meal. For dessert, we've got a beautiful coconut ice cream with strawberries, and if you know anything about Japan, you know that the strawberries here are of the highest quality in the world, and sometimes they can go for just astronomical prices. Wow. There's also some caramelized nuts in there as well. That strawberry is just so juicy. And I will say, I've eaten at a lot of restaurants, a lot of fancy restaurants like this one, and one thing that these fancy restaurants tend to screw up is dessert. Not here. That is an amazing dessert. That's probably the best thing of the meal, actually, the dessert. Incredible. Coconut ice cream with caramelized, I think that might be chestnut, and then with the strawberry. Oh my god. That's like the best dessert I've ever had. Yum. It's like caramel popcorn and strawberry shortcake and coconut. Incredible.
What do we have? What is this?
This one is soy beans.
Soy beans?
Many years before,
Yeah.
ninja eat this.
Ninjas would eat this for energy, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so are they like roasted?
Roasted.
Roasted,
Just
okay.
roasted soybeans.
Yeah, crunchy.
Yeah, then this one is boiled with sugar and
Boiled with sugar.
with sugar.
Okay, it's sweet.
Sweet.
Sweet. Oh. That's completely different. The first one is crunchy and the second one's like a raisin. It's like soft and kind of sweet.
Like raisin.
They taste good together actually.
Yes.
Sweet and salty. Ninja beans. Feel like a ninja?
I'm ready to climb the wall.